Thank you, Madam Speaker. The CS has said that, of course, having admitted that mob justice or injustice is happening because people have little trust in law enforcement agencies, Madam Speaker. And the CS has said that one of the steps that the ministry is taking is under number 4, establishing accessible and structured mechanisms through which members of the public can lodge complaints or report misconduct. And these include reporting to Police Quality Assurance Department and the Internal Affairs Unit. So, Madam Speaker, my question is, until there was an attack on ACK Wetima in Othaya Nyeri, very few people in Kenya had heard about this Internal Affairs Unit within the police. So the question then to CS Murkomen is, exactly where is it based? Where will our people be able to report to? And can they trust the Internal Affairs Unit of the police, where the police are investigating fellow police officers who commit injustices? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Aaron Cheruiyot.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also have a question. This is a very serious matter we are discussing, because mob justice on many occasions leads actually to death, and we have been given the statistics by the minister. And the minister should pay very close attention to this subject, particularly those that are politically instigated. For example, Madam Speaker, I've just seen a video of a young man who was attacked by a mob this morning, people carrying machetes and rungus somewhere in Nyamira, because I think he held a contra review to the ongoings by a section of the political faction in the country. And therefore, there is a connection between politicians and their political activities and some of these mob justice incidences, which perhaps a ministry needs to give policy direction on, and the desire to hold political players who maybe incite young people to violence and things of the sort to be brought to book as a lesson, because it may not be possible, Madam Speaker, to arrest those people who commit those acts at that particular time, but at least the politicians that instigate them, if they are known, particularly those and that are actively engaging young people to engage in such activities. What plans do the ministry have? And you know, Madam Speaker, why it should be of concern to the minister is that in 2021, when we were in the opposition with him, we were victims of political mob justice also in a place called London Ward in Nakuru. And the only reason why perhaps maybe he may have forgotten is that because he's quicker than me, he ran faster and he did not fall.
Too short because of the left time. Now we have 4 more senators. Ask your question quick because we only have 10 minutes for all those questions to be asked and answered. Senator Hezena.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I welcome the CS House. Just remind him that he should please kindly be picking our calls. Madam Speaker, there has been rising menace, like I said recently in a statement I made on the floor of this House on the gangs across the whole country, and Samburu, Madam Speaker, was not an exception, because in Maralal town,
Senator, sorry to rush you. Please just go straight to the question. The time is short.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to know what the ministry has done to ensure that the police at the grassroots are strengthened and facilitated enough to be able to deal with the criminal gangs that are mushrooming across the whole country, especially in urban centers. In Maralal, we had a case of a boy being
stabbed. Senator, your question has been asked. Senator Veronica.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. CS, on this question of mob justice, I don't know whether you have put focus on the conflict between border sector when there are accidents, because some of those mob justices have occurred from those incidences. And number 2, from politically instigated public gatherings. Honorable CS, you should feel the freedom to even ban public gatherings if people are going to be clobbered and beaten, killed
Senator,
in the name of politics.
Senator Veronica, please just ask the question.
And honorable, let me then ask the specific question. Why are you not working very closely with IEBC to ensure politicians who have overstepped their mandate within a public gathering which turns violent is brought to book and punished for those actions? Women are no longer addressing those gatherings.
Senator
Honorable
Mondege.
CS.
Asante Bwana Spika, na swali langu ni kuuliza waziri wa ulinzi.
Senator Mondege, sio Bwana Speaker.
Madam Speaker, swali langu ni kuuliza waziri wa ulinzi, kulingana na joto ile inaendelea vyama na tunaelekea uchaguzi wa mwaka wa 2027. Unaweza kuwa utasaidia namna gani ndio tukifika pale mambo ya ulinzi itakuwa sawa, ndio tusipate shinda, kwa sababu inaonekana vyama mingi ama watu wenyewe wanapigana, wanalaumu serikali.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. CS Murkomen, so far you are doing well. Madam Speaker, last weekend I was at home with the public.
Ogola,
the question
on Honorable Seki on police brutality, I think he came late. I served as his vice chair for a few days in this chamber before I was appointed to the cabinet. And Senator Seki knows very well who I am, and or ought to know that I cannot order any killing of anybody. If he is referring to an incident that happened when the Kikuyu law courts were banned, and I asked a rhetorical question to the public as to whether if a man comes with guns to steal guns from a police officer, whether the police officer should not use force. I also moved forward, Madam Speaker, to provide later on 18th of July 2025 a document, a policy document that I can be held accountable. I can be held into account for on 18th of July that spells out incidences where the police officers can use force and they can use their firearm. I do not mind sharing the same letter to Senator Seki or through the Senate social WhatsApp group, which has now been made public that I'm a member previously by the minority whip of the Senate. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, on the question of, to speak, Kitengela is facing very serious challenge, and I think the senator should not simplify that issue. Kitengela is a serious hotspot for criminal gangs that are actually utilized by politicians, particularly that share very close relations with the senator. And Madam Speaker, Kitengela's problem has not just happened yesterday. It has been an issue for the last 15 so years. It was also more serious when Michuki was the cabinet secretary or the minister at that point in time. And it was one of the areas that was full of Mungiki sect players that caused havoc in both Kajiado and Nairobi from as early as 2000. So that effort that the police have done so far has improved the status of Kitengela. However, politicians, and particularly those who want to incite the public against the government, have been hiring young boys and goons and criminals in the name of protests. And I don't want the senator to provoke me to say more than that because of mutual respect. But what is important is to say that it is important for the political actors on both sides of the political divide, but specifically those who held rallies recently and those who organized Maandamano last year, to stop utilizing young people and arming them to cause violence with rungus, machetes, and all that, and provoking police officers. In fact, in our national police security strategy, Kitengela, we have a particular plan about Kitengela, including when the president recently told us to think about the Nairobi metropolitan security sector, Kitengela and some parts of, together with some parts of Nairobi, Machakos, Kiambu, are actually hotspots that we need to really look at criminal gangs. And I'm not saying goons, criminal gangs that operate from Kitengela itself. This is a threat to national security, and I do not wish the senator to think that the people of Kitengela are his people. They are the people of Kenya. They are our people. There is our country. There is no particular section of this nation that should be left to criminals in any manner. And I wish the senator would use the same spirit in dismantling, helping us to dismantle these gangs. On the police brutality, on the Chute, again, sorry, I already responded to Honorable Chute on that issue. I think the only thing I'll think is the standing order that Honorable Chute read, I think 55 or is it 50? Madam Speaker, it is your discretion to give the Cabinet Secretary to respond to something that you may give directions as the Speaker. It is not to divert from the subject matter that we are dealing with and move to other subjects that the Cabinet Secretary did not prepare to come and respond. On Senator Manso's, mob justice is definitely mistaken identity, or it's the wrong way of doing, because you cannot say this is the criminal until there is evidence. So you are actually, it's innocent until proven guilty. And it is true that there are cases where mob justice target people who are absolutely not related with a suspected crime at all, or being even somebody who was not even present there as a passerby. And in some instances that have been reported, innocent people have been attacked by mob. It is true what Honorable Kisang and his neighbor, both Senator Kisang and Senator Veronica, have raised similar issues on border riders and the issues of mob injustice. This is a sector that is, I think we may have to discuss measures we are putting in place, but already we are working with the Ministry of Transport to see if they can make mandatory identification for border riders, including their area of operation, including their code of conduct and so forth. We expected that there was going to be better self-regulation, but now crimes are being perpetrated by criminals riding motorcycles and hiding behind border business. And it is really causing havoc in this city and other parts of the country, because the border itself can easily access Panya routes and other areas that make it very difficult for law enforcers to really identify them quickly because of their sheer numbers and the people they carry. We have a plan to deal with also the ones who have been causing havoc in the city, muggings, robberies in this city, where a border rider is riding with three others. Three criminals are riding in one motorcycle. Others are robbing people, and the one who is riding is aiding and abetting and enabling that crime. So border sector remains a challenge. Some work is being done by our county security teams, but we need to upscale that work with the Ministry of Transport. And those are issues that were raised in our Jukwaa la Usalama, and we are looking for ways to make sure that this is sorted. But this is not happening without political support again. There are politicians that own and support these groups, and they use them for their political events. And they come gladly knowing that once they are in these political events, they will, apart from what they are being paid to come and do, because many politicians pay them, they will also rob people around the city and other parts of the country. And again, as I said earlier, if it starts with us, and I agree with Majority Leader that we must be seen to be enforcing the law, regardless of who you are or who the person is, by arresting these people. We will need a more lethal force to deal with these gangs. Unfortunately, the environment we are operating in, there is no consensus as to whether we should deal with these gangs using lethal force. And you see, because some of them are armed, if they engage police officers, some people will die. And as soon as somebody dies, I will be brought here, oh, the government is killing people, oh, you know, it's our people, oh, it's our youth. Even someone who burned a police station, wanted to steal ammunitions, somebody who was attacking police officers, somebody who has burned their court, somebody attacking somebody's business. If we do anything, we are told that this government is killing our youth, and of course it becomes the political slogan for our competitors. So it is important that there is national consensus. Let's stop just paying lip service to this conversation. There must be a national consensus to support the IG and the National Police Service. If CS Michuki had not carried a very painful exercise to get rid of Mungiki, we could not be where we are. In the same way, recently in my own county and the neighboring counties, we had to support the police to carry out serious operations against the bandits. We could not have collected 1,300 guns without proper political support, both from my office and the local community. So there must be a consensus in the city that we need to clean the city. And the political leaders, despite the political side, must agree. You cannot allow these muggings that are happening here and robberies and people and gangs, people occupying people's property, threatening people, hurting men and women and children. I hope we will close ranks when the IG soon announces further measures on this area. On the question of internal affairs unit, I agree with Senator Newtu that maybe internal affairs unit needs to publicize its operations or cases so that Kenyans can understand that there is a mechanism. But there is a constitutional mechanism, of course, in the national IPOA, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, who has constitutional duty to investigate all the police officers. The measures internally that have been for the police is to make sure that you quickly take administrative action and disciplinary action on the part of the police officer as you wait for the criminal act that is going to, the criminal investigation, the investigations by IPOA. In some cases, the DCI will just arrest a police officer and they charge them in court. You don't have to wait for IPOA. So those mechanisms are there. And the question,
you just have about 3 minutes.
I think I'm almost coming to an end. On the political activities, I will reiterate what the majority leader said about political players. Yes, some gangs are properly and fully utilized by politicians, 100%. If you saw some of the challenges we had in Kisii this weekend, courtesy of political activities in that area, you will see that both those who are campaigning and their competitors are mobilizing young people, including some of them have unique uniforms in line with the political side they support. And I think it is an area also we must work together to get rid of it, but we will, as we continue enforcing the law, I believe that the people of Kenya will support us even where the political leaders do not. I agree with Senator Lemaletian on the question of Samburu, Maralal. You know very well that we've done a lot in Maralal. We changed security recently, tried to bolster the security team, and the IG is working on, and it's not just Maralal alone, across the country, deploying more police officers, more agile, newly trained, as soon as we complete the current training in September, October. And I hope that this will help us. As you know, Samburu, we have various challenges. We are still dealing with bandits, and then we are told in town people are causing havoc, gangs and goons and mob justice in the town. I know you have asked me to pick my calls. I'm sure when I leave this chamber now, there will be a member of parliament or a senator who is complaining that I have not picked their calls. The nature of the job I do, Madam Speaker, is very, very, very busy. Between now and 1 a.m., I will still be working, and I'm expected to wake up the next day to do some work. So if when I do not manage to respond to your calls, there are channeled established procedures in the office. And I have come to establish that many people who come to my office, they will not leave there are issues with the officers in the office, they just insisted that I wanted to see the cabinet secretary. If we can utilize the resources in the office, then they can be able to respond, like Senator Chutia said. Lastly, IBC, I think we will support IBC, and the National Police Service is ready to support IBC to make sure that political activities are done within the law. If I pronounce myself here that we are doing it on behalf of IBC, or we are banning public rallies, I think IBC should take the legal steps, and it is for us then to support them, whether it's policy from my office or the IG security-wise, to make sure that once they pronounce a certain gathering to be illegal, then it is for us to do the law enforcement. I thank you, Madam Speaker, and I look forward to coming here again. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, it's now 1:10 p.m. and having concluded the business for which I extended the hours of sitting pursuant to Standing Order 34-2A, the Senate